Hi, welcome back to the last part of lungs here, or the respiratory system. Okay, so gaseous exchange will take place across your alveoli and blood capillaries. So you have got the concentration gradient, which means your concentration of carbon dioxide in the lung region is high, which is why it diffuses out. Okay, take note, is diffusion. So this particular concentration gradient is maintained due to your inhalation and exhalation, and also blood flow. So blood flow of the capillaries, like I mentioned just now when we revised a little bit on the circulatory system, is whereby deoxygenated blood will flow through the capillaries which surrounds the alveoli when it is carried out from the heart through your pulmonary arteries, and then oxygenated blood will then diffuse into the capillaries itself, whereby it binds with the hemoglobin and it is carried back to your pulmonary vein. Okay, so this one, the oxygen, when it diffuses in, you will have a layer of moisture again on alveolus. So you can see the pattern now. Whenever there is gaseous exchange or gas diffusion, there are layers of moisture to act as a medium so that the gaseous exchange can be more efficient. Be it at the nose region, in your plants, your mesophyll region here, your intercellular air spaces, or in the lung regions itself. Okay, so in the alveolus, one cell thick over here, which provides a large surface area. Okay, so once oxygen diffuses into the red blood cells or into the capillaries, it will combine reversibly with hemoglobin. Okay, so reversibly because the oxygen do have to detach from the red blood cells in order to diffuse into the cells for respiration at the mitochondria. So it forms oxyhemoglobin, which gives it the red color thing of the blood. So after that, when it enters back into the left atrium, it will enter into the left ventricle and it will be pumped to all parts of the body here. Okay, another small little point that I want to make here is that your hemoglobin, okay, or your red blood cells contain hemoglobin to bind with your oxygen reversibly. It also contains a mineral, which is your iron. Okay, the iron mineral is the one that enables the carrying of the hemoglobin as well, which is why if you are anemic, it could be due to the low iron count, it could be due to low vitamin Bs. So those are additional information. Okay, and the older folks will usually ask you to eat the liver, because when your red blood cells die after 120 days, okay, this was covered under the topic for cells. So when your red blood cells die after 120 days, the iron will be stored in the liver and the spleen itself. Okay, but you don't really do the split. Okay, so the exchange of carbon dioxide over here, carbon dioxide, unlike oxygen, which is carried in red blood cells or on red blood cells, carbon dioxide are converted into the ionic form. So the moment you have got respiration taking place and carbon dioxide is produced, it will be converted into hydrogen carbonic ions. Okay, so this conversion is able to happen, okay, because you have got enzymes that will be taking place. Okay, so this particular enzyme is in the red blood cells. So your carbon dioxide enters into the red blood cells. The red blood cells contain this enzyme called carbonic anhydrase. Okay, so it converts this enzyme. What it does is it converts the carbon dioxide in the red blood cells into carbonic acids. So carbonic acid itself will be changed into hydrogen carbonic ions, which will then be carried throughout the blood plasma itself. And once it reaches to the lung region, where your capillaries wrap around the alveolus, the reverse will take place. Okay, so initially, carbon dioxide is converted to carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is converted to hydrogen carbonic ions. Okay, so when it reaches the lungs, the opposite will take place. The hydrogen carbonic ions will diffuse back into the red blood cells. So from hydrogen carbonic ions, it will turn back into carbonic acid. And then the same enzyme, carbonic anhydrase, will convert your carbonic acid back into carbon dioxide, which will then be released from the alveolus to be expelled out during exhalation. Okay, so you can see that over here it is in this direction. Carbon dioxide turn into carbonic acid through carbonic anhydrase. Okay, and and the carbonic acid will be converted into hydrogen carbonic ions. So nearing into the lung region, the alveoli, it is the reverse. So hydrogen carbonic ions change back to carbonic acid. Carbonic acid will then be converted back to carbon dioxide due to the presence of carbonic anhydrase. Okay, so ASE, these are enzymes.